Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. We're going to be testing out some new e.l.f. product that is supposed to be like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, and I also wanted to talk about some of the other products that I have that are really similar to these and do some swatch comparisons for y'all. So if you guys like unfiltered makeup opinions and honest reviews, hit the subscribe button and let's get into this video. So I do have foundation on already and my concealer. For foundation, as I drop things, it's been a hot minute since I filmed because I've been busy like in the garden. If you guys don't follow me over on Instagram, I do suggest you go follow me over there. But for foundation, primer, and concealer, not in that order. So for my primer, I did use the Ultra Sheer Moisturizing Face Serum Sunscreen. SPF 60 plus fragrance free from Neutrogena. I found I really like this one, especially if I'm using it with like a powder foundation. And then I'm using the Get Real Serum Foundation from Flower Beauty paired with a really nice concealer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I have a review coming up of that one because it's, spoiler alert, woo, really good. So today we're going to be trying out the e.l.f. Halo Glows. We have different wands here. We have the contouring wand, we have the blush wand, and we have the highlight wand. And these retail for $9 a piece, and they are said to be dupes of the Charlotte Tilbury. We all know that like every single brand has been trying to dupe the Charlotte Tilbury wands for like some time now, and I have a collection because I've been trying different ones. I've had some good ones, had some bad ones. So let's try these e.l.f. wands, and then I want to do some comparisons for you between some of the other wands that we've been using. So for the Halo Glow contouring wand from e.l.f., I have the Fair Light shade. Other brands actually have one where you can turn it on and off, and this one doesn't have it. So it looks like you just squeeze. Yeah, you squeeze it, and it comes out on this teeny tiny little puff. And in the packaging, it's 0.33 fluid ounces. So you get as much as what you would with a concealer. This is the Fair Light shade. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. And I have a contouring brush from LYS. And we're going to use this to blend out the contouring shade. We're going to go kind of like safe with this because I have tried the Flower Beauty contouring wands. And those dry down really, really fast, and it makes it really, really hard to blend it out. And I'm hoping that this formula is not like that because that's what I've been finding in general. But actually it's blending out pretty nicely. The tone is bright for me because I am fair, and it is almost like a cool undertone. It's not a bad formula. It is blending out really nicely. I don't see any kind of like hyper like adherence anywhere. It's not clinging to anything funny. Like I do have some dry patches up here right now, and it's not doing anything like that. But it does a little touch of bronze, but I feel like it kind of dissipated really fast. And their putty bronzers were the same way on me, where I would put it on and you would see it, but then you would blend it out and it would blend away to nothing. So that's kind of what I'm feeling like this is doing too. Not a lot of contour. It kind of just like blends away to nothing. For the blush wand, I have the shade Rose You Slay. And this is the same exact packaging. It comes in 0.33 fluid ounces. Let's open up here. You squeeze it out, which I don't like this kind of packaging because it's very wasteful. I actually have a Milani one that is like this, and it is messy all over. But let's see. We're going to just apply this and see how she goes. I may have put just a little bit too much on. But that's okay because it's hot out and I'm going to look like I'm flushed anyway. So I thought it was going to be a little bit more like dewy, luminescent than what it is. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but like in swatch, it's pretty luminescent, and this just doesn't seem to be like as luminescent. So We're going to try and match both sides, and then we'll kind of tame it down with some product, but I look like I got sun, like way too much sun. That's okay. We're okay. I am using an e.l.f. airbrush stippling brush, so that I like to use for like my cream blush products. As far as it, like, it's not taking away any of the foundation, so where I applied the bronzer and the blush, it's not taking away anything. So it is really pretty, very natural. I'm going to take my beauty blender and we're just going to kind of like lift some of the pink and dull it down just a little bit because that was a little bit too much. And then for the highlight, we have the rose quartz. So this is going to be very like rose colored. Let's put it on the back of the hand here. Really pretty and reflective. So I'm going to put this on. Where did it go? You guys see it? Because I don't see it. Taking my highlight brush, we're just going to diffuse this out. It looks wet, which is good. And it didn't really like pick up product, which is also good, but it does look really wet on my face. So this is the face before we're gonna set it. It didn't pick up any of the product that was on my face, none of the foundation, none of the concealer. So that is really nice. It's sitting on the skin pretty well, especially when I used a brush to blend it out. It did pick up a little bit on the nose here, but that tends to happen with me. It's a very dewy looking highlighter, very pretty blush, very pretty contour. But I feel like the contour kind of just like dissipated. So we're going to set it with the Milani Make It Last. Kind of like dull down some of this like redness and also to kind of like set the rest of my face because I didn't set it yet. We're going to use the Sephora Micro Smooth Baked Powder. I really like this powder. It is great at just like tying your makeup together and really setting it in place. And I can also go and do like just a concealer day and then put this over top and it's so beautiful. Like look how it just ties it all together. Just really, really sets everything down and makes it look just so beautiful. This is the face before we put on eyeshadow and mascara and we do my brows, but this is what it's looking like set down. Very pretty. There's no like bad things I have to say about it other than the contouring wand. It just kind of seems to like dissipate away. But again, like I said, the putty blush did the same thing. And next time, maybe we'll just build it up a little bit more. We'll see how I like it. So I'm going to put on my brows, my lashes, and my eyes, and we will be right back. All right, so we're back with this is my completed makeup look. If you guys are interested in the eyeshadow, I did create my own, like, build my own palette for May. This is what it looks like. It's a whole bunch of singles from Makeup Geek, Terra Moons, Devine, and this is what I created today. I just wanted something that kind of matches my dress because, like, yeah, why not? I saw a lot of people playing with the Lethal Cosmetics Wildflower palette, which is what that is inspired by. And I was like, oh, let's try something pretty and colorful today. So that's why we have this. On my lips, I do have a Essence Caring Tint lip balm with grapefruit. And this is literally just a tinted lip balm. Like, look how pretty that is. And for my lashes, we have the Anti-Gravity Mascara on the top, and on the bottom, we have the Lash Stiletto from Maybelline. I found that this combination is just so pretty, and this is what the face is looking like. Let's just talk about these puffs in general. This is like the second part of this video. The first part, obviously trying these, but the second part is looking at these right here, these products, and seeing what I have already in my collection and if it's comparable, the shades, the formula, that sort of thing. And so my first thought about the packaging is that it's a dead ringer for the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Highlighting Blush. This one is in Luminoso and very, very messy. I've actually thought about like decluttering / getting rid of this one because it is just so incredibly messy. Like it's in the top here, it's all over the place. And this is the same type of packaging as the e.l.f. ones. Now, this is the Luminoso shade on the back. When you actually apply it, it looks like a highlight. It doesn't actually look like a blush, and it's supposed to be like a cheek kiss liquid blush. And then obviously here's the highlight from e.l.f. So I wanted to do a little swatch comparison to see how they stack up against one another and see if the actual shade is the same, so that if you have the Milani blush, you know not to buy, say, this e.l.f. highlight, because it'll pretty much look the same on your skin. So on this one, this is the e.l.f., this is the Luminoso blush from Milani, and you can see here they are very, very similar. The highlight, obviously, from e.l.f. is the Rose Quartz, and we have the Luminoso blush from Milani. These are the same price. However, the e.l.f. one is 0.33 ounces and the Milani one is actually 0.2 ounces. So it's smaller, same price. Actually, I think the Milani one is a little bit more expensive. But the shade-wise, Milani has more of a peachy undertone. e.l.f. has more of a pink undertone, but they're really similar. They probably would look really, really similar on the face. And then I also wanted to swatch Rose You Slay, the blush next to Luminoso, because this one is also like it's meant to be a blush. So I have it, I'm just going to swatch it down here. So here it is. It is obviously a blush shade, much, much darker, but very, very, like this is what I imagined Luminoso being like, where it had more of that pigment, that payoff, and it obviously didn't have that. It was more like a highlight to me. I love the Luminoso highlight, but, and as you can see, like all this extra product on here, like where is it gonna go? Just on my face or in the package. Like that's how messy these are. Once upon a time, Makeup Revolution did release these Brightlight highlighting wands. This is in the shade Devine Dark Pink. The packaging on these suck, but I actually like the formula quite a bit, and it's a lot more like economically friendly because like you can actually store this and it doesn't get all over the place. So I wanted to swatch for you next to the e.l.f. one, the Makeup Revolution one, because this is actually like one of my favorite liquid blushes, and it's so pretty. I actually like to wear this a lot on days where I'm doing like no makeup days, because it's just such a beautiful, pretty poppy pink color. And as you can see right here, this is the Makeup Revolution shade. This is the e.l.f. shade. So they're very similar. Makeup Revolution is a lot more poppy pink, whereas the e.l.f. one is a lot more of a quartzy pink. If I remember correctly, these wands are either $8 or $9 as well, and you can find them at Ulta Beauty. So it is the same price point. Now, as far as like quantity, how much you actually get, this is 0.10 ounce, so you get more in the e.l.f. one than what you do in Makeup Revolution. But it's so much easier to store this because the packaging is kind of wonky, but wonky in a good way, because it's not going to spill, it's not going to get all over the place. So I'm going to give you guys a better comparison between the two. So this is Makeup Revolution, this is e.l.f. You can see like they're really, really similar. e.l.f. actually has a little bit more of that peach undertone. Again, like I said, like that's what I expected the Luminoso to look like, and it was more of a highlight. Now let's take a look at some of the comparisons between the Halo Glow Contour and some other contouring ones that I do have. And again, this is in Fair, so it's a very like, oh, the shade is so extremely light. It's very like almost taupey on me because of my skin tone and my undertone. But I do have two other Lowlights from Flower Beauty. I have done a speed review on these. Quality-wise, the e.l.f. one goes on a lot better, but like actual like container-wise, this one is just so much better because it locks into place. So the first one I'm putting on my hand is the light shade. So it's pretty comparable shade-wise to e.l.f., but formula-wise, e.l.f. blended out way better on my skin than the Flower Beauty ever did. And I feel like Flower Beauty is really hard to manipulate on your skin because it dries down just so incredibly fast compared to like any other contour. So here is Flower Beauty, here is e.l.f. Flower Beauty wise, the packaging is just gorgeous, and you get 0.47 fluid ounces in these, so you do get quite a bit more, but they're also $15. So it's, you get a lot more product, but it's really hard to work with if you don't work with it instantaneously. That's one thing that I have found. The same with the medium shade, same kind of packaging. It does lock, and this one's more of like a real true bronze shade for me. It's not like a contouring shade. This is what it looks like compared to the light. This definitely has more of like a red undertone. Again, these are both very hard to blend out. Like you can see, it's already clinging to some like weird areas on my hand. They're just really hard to work with. They do retail for $15, whereas the e.l.f. one retails for $9. So price comparison wise and formula wise, the e.l.f. one is definitely like, that's going to be my go-to. So we already compared like some of the blushes, especially like the highlight to the Luminoso one, but I also wanted to compare the highlight to the Flower Beauty highlights, which are some of my favorites. I have Gleam and I also have Opal. Gleam is more of like a goldeny pink. Opal is more of like that champagne shade. And these are also $15 a piece. They're in 0.47 fluid ounces, so you do get more product in here. The packaging is the same as the contouring ones where you twist it up. You can squeeze it out. You really can control, and like the quality of these highlights is so beautiful. Doesn't texturize on your skin at all. It's just, it's such a beautiful highlight. Like I love how like beaming and highlighty that is. That's Opal. And then we have Gleam. So I'll put that one on here as well. This has the same quality, the same consistency as Opal, where it's just really easy to blend out, really easy to put on your skin, and it doesn't strip your makeup down at all. It's just, it's so beautiful highlighting with these two highlights. And let's take Rose Quartz, the highlighter shade, and let's just see how this one stacks up color-wise as well as like blendability. So this is Rose Quartz on the very end here. It's actually really similar to Gleam, but it has more of a rose undertone where Gleam has more of like a peach undertone. But all three of these are absolutely stunning. Like I said, the Flower Beauty ones, they retail for $14.99. The e.l.f. one retails for $9. So there is a big price difference in there that you're going to see. But swatch comparison wise, like these all do really similar things. Out of all of these, like which one would I actually choose? Which one is the best one out of all of these? So like definitely out of the contouring, the e.l.f. Halo Glow definitely wins over. Easier to blend out. I want to see how it builds up, but it did do like a decent job like blending out. Kind of dissipated a little bit, but again, let's see how it blends out. But these two are very hard to blend out. For the highlights, I just love the flower highlights. I love the packaging. I love how much product you get in it. I love the colors. And I think that it's just more of a higher quality packaging than the e.l.f. one. But all three of them are just so pretty. For the price difference, you could definitely go with the e.l.f. and you won't go wrong. It is so beautiful. And then as for the blushes, compared to these two, even the Milani, like Luminoso one, I love this one, but it was expensive and you don't get a lot in it, and it's actually a highlight. But I love both of these, the way that they look. This one seems more pigmented, the e.l.f. one on the skin, because I never have had that, like, there was another blush that I tried from Juvia's Place. It was a new blush and it like exploded on my face, and I felt like I literally put barely a dab on, and it was just, there was so much there. Packaging wise, I like this one better though. Price point wise, Flower Beauty does range a little bit higher. And, you know, e.l.f. is kind of in the like $9 range, so it's under $10. But overall, like Flower Beauty is a little bit more. I do like the packaging on these way better. Not all of these poofy poofs are going to be the same. The quality, the consistency are going to be a little bit different. But overall, like you can see the comparisons between all three of these. All of these poofs are very similar. All of the colors are very similar. e.l.f. has a very messy packaging, just like the Milani one. So any of these, like if you're going for a price point, e.l.f. is a good alternative for any of these. Are they all dupes for each other? I think some of the colors are pretty similar, like, except for Opal. Opal from Flower is just, it's insanely beautiful. But they're very, very similar to each other, very similar consistency. However, like, are they actually dupes for Charlotte Tilbury? That I can't give you an answer to because I don't have Charlotte Tilbury. But at the same time, like, I have 4 brands represented here. And, you know, like, how many of these are we going to get released to us in 2023? Like, can we name 2023 the season of the poof? Because, like, I feel like this literally is the season of, like, trying to dupe Charlotte Tilbury. It's the season of the poof. It's just, it's insane that all of these brands are coming out with the same product. They're just kind of giving it a little twist themselves. And why can't brands just be a little bit more, like, ingenuitive? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching my first impressions of the e.l.f. Halo Glow wands and some of the comparisons to some of the other ones that are already, like, in existence. Do you need them? Do you not need them? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you consider subscribing. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, comments about these products, and I hope I get to see you in my next video. Bye!